She thought she could have it all: excitement, love, charm. But that night, everything she had built came crashing down. "This is going to be fine," she whispered as she adjusted her hair in the mirror. "I can handle this. I always handle it." Welcome to Tales by Desi. I am happy to have you join this community. Before the drama unfolds, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and comment your location below. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Amina was a student at the University of Lagos, radiant, confident, magnetic. She knew the power she held, the way people noticed her, the way hearts skipped a beat when she walked past. And she had two men in her life, two men who were nothing alike. She met Daniel one rainy afternoon at a small cafe near campus. He was everything you'd expect in a campus heartthrob: confident, popular, effortlessly charming. Every conversation with him was easy, every laugh genuine. He noticed her immediately. "You sure you want the large coffee?" he teased softly. "It's going to keep you awake all night." "Maybe that's exactly what I need," she laughed. From that day, they began meeting more often. Daniel helped her with assignments, walked her after lectures, bought her small dinners, took her on tiny campus adventures. He was steady, dependable, the kind of man who made her feel safe. "I like how you notice the little things," she said softly once. "Someone has to," Daniel replied, eyes warm. "And maybe I just like noticing you." Her heart fluttered. Just like that, Daniel became part of her life. Soon, he asked her out. She said yes without hesitation. Then, Rico entered her world. He wasn't a student. He was a professional, newly graduated, in Lagos for a business meeting with one of his partners. She met him at a cafe near the university, where he sat reviewing documents with the calm confidence of someone who already had life figured out. "Excuse me," he said with a gentle smile. "Do you have a few minutes? Maybe you could help me figure something out." "Me?" she laughed. "Help with business?" He chuckled. "Yes, and maybe I could buy you a coffee while we do it." She hesitated. Daniel was already in her life. She had said yes to him, but Rico's energy was different. His eyes lingered in a way that made her feel deeply seen, fully studied, wanted. Daniel is amazing, but Rico feels different. "This is just coffee," she convinced herself. "Just a conversation. I can handle it." "Sure, I'll go," she said, trying to sound casual, though her heart hammered. Why not? That one choice set everything in motion. Daniel remained her exciting, popular campus love, the man she laughed with between lectures, the steady presence in her everyday life. Her relationship with Rico became something else entirely. What started as small talk became long conversations. What started as chance meetings became planned ones. "Are you always this composed?" Amina asked one afternoon at a restaurant overlooking the lagoon. "Only when I'm around someone worth losing composure for," Rico replied, smiling slowly. Her heart skipped. Rico was wealthy in a way that whispered, not shouted. Clean luxury cars, soft leather interiors, wristwatch that didn't brag but demanded respect, restaurants where the chef greeted him personally, a calm stability that wrapped around her like safety. Meanwhile, Daniel was energy, joy, playfulness, campus warmth, late night gist, hidden kisses in quiet hostel corners. With Daniel she felt home, with Rico she felt chosen. Her roommate Tola watched it all unfold. "So, this is your plan?" Tola asked one evening. "Daniel gives you love, Rico gives you lifestyle. You're building two houses with one heart." I'm not hurting anyone, Amina sighed. Daniel makes me feel alive. Rico makes me feel safe. And I deserve to feel everything. And when everything collapses, Tola whispered. Amina smiled weakly. It won't. I'm careful. But careful wasn't enough. Rico didn't stay casual. His affection deepened. His presence grew heavier. He stopped being someone she was getting to know and became someone wrapping himself around her emotions. Then came the night everything changed. He invited her out, dressed beautifully, he said, and trust me. She arrived to a rooftop lounge overlooking Lagos. Fairy lights glowing, soft music playing, breeze caressing her skin, and Rico standing confidently in the center. What's all this? She whispered. For you, he said simply. You walked into my life when I wasn't looking for anything. And now, I can't imagine not having you around. He continued gently. You challenge me. You calm me. You annoy me. You excite me. And I don't like sharing. The lights dimmed. Music rose. A violinist appeared. Champagne glasses clinked. Rico took her hands. I want you in my world. Fully. Choose me. Her heart pounded. Daniel's laughter echoed in her memory. Rico's certainty held her in the present. Her chest tightened. Rico, she whispered. He kissed her hand. Say yes. She smiled. Not because she was sure, but because she wanted everything. Yes. Cheers. Music. Warm embrace. But guilt pressed lightly against her ribs. That same night, Daniel waited under a street light. You disappeared, he teased. Who were you busy charming? You, she whispered. Warmth wrapped around her again. And just like that, Amina officially belonged to two men. One with wealth, power, devotion. One with love, connection. She told herself she could manage it. She whispered constantly, I'm careful. They'll never know. But life was already watching. With Daniel, she was warmth, laughter, softness. With Rico, she was elegance, charm, mystery. And slowly, cracks began to appear. One afternoon, Daniel held her phone jokingly after taking pictures of her on campus. Let me see the rest, he laughed. Her smile vanished. Give it back. His eyes narrowed slightly. Relax. It's just your phone. I said give it back, Daniel, she snapped, sharper than she meant to. Silence swallowed the air. Daniel sighed deeply. Why are you hiding your phone from me? Who are you texting like your life depends on it? She forced a laugh. I just like my privacy. Can't I have that? Amina, he whispered. Are you seeing someone else? Her heart punched her chest. For a moment, truth rose to her throat. Then Amina inhaled and wrapped herself in performance. Wow, she scoffed, rolling her eyes dramatically. So because I asked for privacy, I must be cheating? Daniel, do you even trust me? Amina, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. You basically called me unfaithful. His shoulders dropped instantly. Guilt crawled into his face. I'm sorry. I love you too much. I panic sometimes. She softened, leaning into him like wounded innocence. Don't ever make me feel like I'm not enough, she whispered. I won't, he promised. And to prove it, he bought her a new phone the next week. For my queen, he smiled, his stomach twisted. But she still smiled back. Because guilt never stood a chance against pleasure. Then it was Rico's turn. One evening, while in his car after dinner, she stepped out to take a call. 10 minutes passed, then 15, then 20. Rico watched her pacing outside, whispering frantically. When she returned, his face was unreadable. Who was that? He asked calmly. No one important. Then why did your voice tremble? She swallowed. You are overthinking. I don't overthink, he replied softly. I observe. The silence between them thickened. Finally, he said it. Are you seeing someone else? Her chest tightened. Her tongue sharpened. What exactly are you accusing me of? she asked coldly. I am asking, he said slowly, because I do not like being disrespected. Tears clouded her eyes on command. Wow, after everything, after I allowed myself feel safe with you, after I trusted you, you think I'm lying to you? His jaw loosened immediately. Amina, no, it's okay, she whispered, voice trembling beautifully. If I'm too much trouble, say it. Don't paint me as unfaithful. Rico exhaled deeply, guilt flooding his expression. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I never want to make you feel unwanted. Ever. 2 days later, he surprised her with an expensive designer bag. For peace, he smiled. She hugged him, but her heart wasn't hugging back because lies always taste sweet before they poison you. Soon, the burden became heavier, juggling love messages, deleting chats, running from one date to another, fabricating excuses, smiling when she wanted to scream, laughing when she wanted to cry. One afternoon, she collapsed on her bed, body trembling. I'm tired, she whispered to herself, but I can't stop. I want this life. I deserve it. I'll rest later. And then the universe struck harder. She missed her period. Once, twice, her word stopped. Staring at 2 pink lines on a pregnancy strip, her legs almost gave way. No, 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 she whispered, panic ripping through her chest. Daniel? Rico? Whose child? She couldn't even guess. Paula found her sitting silently on the bathroom floor. Amina, she whispered. Talk to me. Amina shook her head. I can't do this. I'm too young to tie myself down. I still want my life. I can't let a mistake rewrite my destiny. Her voice was breaking, yet she was stubborn. I won't tell anyone, she decided. I'll end it, quietly. Nobody has to know. Tola cried. This is dangerous. So is breathing, Amina replied coldly. Days later, she returned from the clinic, empty, shaking, void. But instead of slowing down, she tightened her mask. More dates, more laughter, more lies. You only live once, she told herself over and over like a prayer, or maybe like a curse. Soon after, Daniel begged to spend more time with her, but she vanished for days. Rico planned a weekend getaway. She cancelled last minute. Her excuses multiplied. Their suspicions sharpened. The distance cracked. And yet, she smiled. Still performing. Still juggling. Still believing she was untouchable. Until the night, everything finally demanded payment. The night of the gala came. Amina arrived radiant, walking alongside Daniel. The University of Lagos Hall shimmered with chandeliers and golden lights. Music floated, laughter bubbled, and the air smelled of champagne and roses. You look incredible, Daniel whispered, his hand brushing her back. I'm glad I get to walk in with you tonight. Amina smiled, hiding the storm inside. I'm glad you're here, she replied softly. They moved through the crowd, exchanging pleasantries, laughing lightly, sipping champagne. Daniel was her warmth, her laughter, her secret comfort. Then the doors opened. Rico stepped inside. He paused, scanning the room. His eyes immediately landed on Amina. She was laughing, leaning close to Daniel, alive, perfect, the girl he had planned a proposal for. Shock froze him in place. Daniel noticed him immediately. A flash of recognition crossed his face. Rico? Daniel exclaimed, rushing forward with the ease of a man reuniting with a long-lost friend. His hand clapped against Rico's shoulder. I haven't seen you in ages, brother. How are you? Amina's smile faltered. Her heartbeat slammed. She didn't recognize this dynamic. And this, Daniel continued, spinning to her with a broad grin, is Amina, my girlfriend. Rico, meet her. Amina's stomach dropped. Girlfriend. His girlfriend. Not friend. Not casual. girlfriend. Rico's jaw tightened, eyes dark, calm but lethal. I believe we met, he said, voice low, dangerous. Daniel raised an eyebrow. How? Before Rico could answer, Amina grabbed his hand. Rico, not here, she whispered urgently. Outside, now. The garden was quiet, a stark contrast to the glittering chaos inside. Fairy lights hung lazily over the greenery, and the soft breeze stirred the night air. Amina let go of Rico's hand and turned sharply. What are you doing here? She demanded, voice trembling just enough to show panic. The garden was quiet, the soft breeze carrying the scent of roses and wet earth. Fairy lights swayed lazily overhead, mocking Amina as if they already knew her secrets. What are you doing here? Amina demanded, voice sharp, though her chest felt tight. Rico's eyes were dark, calm, but ice beneath the surface. I came for you, he said slowly. I came to see the woman who's been deceiving me. Her heart stumbled. Deceiving you? Yes, he said, stepping closer. All the coffees you claimed were just friendly. The nights you disappeared studying, the little smiles, the whispered excuses. I believed them all. Foolishly. Amina's throat went dry. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came. She trembled, shoulders shaking, tears streaming down her face. She could do nothing but sob quietly, the reality of her lies pressing down on her chest like stones. You don't get it, do you? Rico continued, voice sharp, deliberate, every word a strike. I came here tonight. I had a ring. I was going to ask you to spend the rest of your life with me. What? Amina replied in shock. Rico stepped closer, fury tempered by grief. Do you know what it feels like to think someone loves you while they're living another life? She shook, silent, unable to answer. She opened her mouth to say something, but nothing came out. And then Daniel stepped out from the shadows. Amina. His voice was low, controlled, but every inch carried hurt and betrayal. Tell me it isn't true. Her tears fell faster. She couldn't speak. She could only shake her head, silent and broken. Daniel stepped closer, anger and heartbreak in equal measure. You were dating me, sneaking around, laughing, hiding, all while he thought he had your heart. Amina sobbed heavily. Rico's gaze pierced her soul. I trusted you. I was going to ask you to be mine. And you? You thought you could have it all. Do you understand what it feels like to be played? Amina's tears fell faster, body trembling, shoulders shaking violently. She could barely breathe. Her lips trembled, and all she could manage was a small, broken voice. I'm sorry. Please. Forgive me. I love you. I didn't know it would turn out like this. Rico's jaw tightened. He shook his head slowly, voice low, deadly calm. You're not sorry, he said, each word slicing the air. You're only sorry you got caught. With that, he turned and walked away, leaving Amina with Daniel in the garden, trembling under the fairy lights, the night heavy around her, and the full weight of her choices pressing down like a stone she could no longer lift. Amina sank to the edge of a garden bench, shoulders shaking, tears running freely down her face. The soft glow of the fairy lights flickered against her tear-streaked cheeks, but they offered no comfort. The night, once full of promise, now pressed down on her from every side. A shadow fell across her, long and familiar. Amina. Daniel's voice was low, controlled, but heavy with disbelief and hurt. He stood over her, eyes dark, jaw tight, hands clenched. We need to talk. She flinched, wiping her cheeks uselessly.
I I don't.
You don't what? Daniel's voice rose, not with anger, but with the raw weight of betrayal. You don't know what to say? That you've been sneaking around behind my back? That you've been lying to me? To both of us? Amina's sobs only grew. She couldn't meet his gaze. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Nothing. She shook her head weakly, her body trembling. Do you have any idea how this feels? Daniel continued, taking a cautious step closer. I trusted you. I cared for you. I laughed with you, shared my life with you, and all the while you were hiding someone else. Hiding him. Her tears fell harder. She could barely breathe, could barely form a sound. All the excuses, the plans, the careful balancing, they had come undone. You left me in the dark, Daniel said, voice cracking now, tight with emotion. Every time you disappeared, every late night message, every sudden change in plans, I wondered what I did wrong. And now I know. You were never honest with me, not with me, not with him, not with yourself. Amina buried her face in her hands, shaking violently, sobs racking her body. I'm sorry. Please, she whispered brokenly. Daniel's eyes softened, but only slightly, his chest heaving with frustration and pain. Sorry, he repeated, voice low and bitter. Do you know how that sounds right now? You're sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry that we found out? Or sorry that you let two people care for you while you played at life like this? She couldn't answer. She had no words. Her body shook, tears soaking her sleeves, and the silence between them was heavy, suffocating. Daniel dropped to his knees to meet her at eye level, desperation breaking through his calm. Amina, look at me. Look at me. I loved you. I trusted you. I thought we had something real. And you destroyed it. You destroyed us. How could you? Her only response was a fresh wave of sobs. She could only shake her head, trembling, powerless. He stood abruptly, stepping back, running a hand through his hair. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. How do you explain this? How do you fix a heart that's been broken by someone you thought you knew? The wind blew softly through the garden, carrying the faint sound of the gala music from inside. Amina stayed seated, silent, her body shaking. She had nothing left. Words had abandoned her. Daniel's eyes lingered on her, a mixture of sorrow, anger, and disbelief etched into every line of his face. You've lost us, Amina. Both of us, and you'll have to live with that. Amina looked up at him, tear-stained eyes, lips trembling, but no words could come. He shook his head slowly, turning back toward the hall, leaving her alone in the garden. The night pressed in on her from all sides. The fairy lights seemed to flicker with accusation. Her heart pounded painfully, every sob a reminder that everything she had built, every stolen smile, every secret rendezvous had collapsed. And in the quiet aftermath, Amina finally understood the full weight of her choices. Two hearts, one woman, all lost. The garden was no longer quiet. Unseen eyes had gathered just beyond the shrubs. Phones raised, screens recording. The whispers had started softly, like a ripple. Then laughter, then shock, then cameras. By the time Amina realized the entire scene, the confrontation, her sobs, Rico's fury, Daniel's heartbreak, was streaming across the school's social media channels. Everywhere she went, whispers followed her like ghosts. People stopped mid-conversation to glance her way. Eyes darted to her with judgment, gossip, and barely concealed amusement. Screens lit up with her shame, shared by strangers, by friends, by those who once smiled at her in the halls. She walked through the quad, shoulders hunched, trying to make herself invisible, but it was impossible. Every glance reminded her of the garden. Every phone screen reminded her of Rico's voice, Daniel's hurt, and her own trembling sobs.
Did you see what she did? A girl whispered, voice barely above a hiss. With Daniel and Rico, she's unbelievable.
She thought she could have it all, another added. And look at her now. Amina lowered her head, biting back tears. A carefully curated life, popularity, admiration, envy from classmates was gone. Just like that, shattered by her own choices, amplified by every phone, every whisper, every social media post. She returned to her hostel room, the walls suddenly closing in. Tola looked at her, expression tight, sympathetic but helpless.
They're everywhere, Amina whispered, voice raw. Even online. The whole school saw.
Tola sighed. I warned you, Amina. You can't play with people's hearts and expect to escape unscathed. You've lost, well, almost everything. Amina nodded numbly, staring at the ceiling. Every memory of laughter, of stolen kisses, of secret coffees with Rico and Daniel now felt poisoned. Her social status, her friends, even her sense of safety, they had vanished.
By the end of the week, she made a decision. She would leave, transfer to another school, start afresh, pretend none of this ever happened. The weight of whispers, the laughter, the judgment, it was too much. She couldn't bear the eyes, the cameras, the endless retellings of her fall from grace.
Packing her bags, she paused, hand hovering over her phone. The messages from Rico and Daniel remained unread, unopened. She couldn't face them yet, not now. As she left her old campus behind, the city lights blurred past the taxi window. Lagos felt impossibly large, yet suffocating, holding every memory of the life she had lost. She whispered to herself, voice almost inaudible, I'll start again, somewhere else. Maybe I'll be someone new. But even as the car carried her away, she knew the choices she made, the people she hurt, and the love she betrayed would never truly let her forget. Amina left Lagos behind, the streets and whispers fading into memory, but the echoes of her choices followed her, quiet, relentless, impossible to outrun. She had chased both worlds. She had believed she could balance love, desire, excitement, and safety. She had thought she was clever, untouchable, untamed. Her world, once sparkling with charm, love, and excitement, had collapsed into whispers, screens, and shadows. But life, as it often does, had a way of catching up. She had lost more than love that night in the garden. She had lost trust. She had lost innocence. She had lost the belief that charm and beauty alone could protect her from the consequences of her choices.
And perhaps the hardest lesson of all, you cannot play with hearts without burning your own.
You cannot live two lives and expect the world not to notice. And sometimes the fire you think you're dancing around is inside you all along. Amina would go on. She would rebuild. She would survive. But the whispers, the screens, the memories, they would never fully leave her. Because the truth, once revealed, leaves marks that charm cannot hide, beauty cannot erase, and lies cannot repair. If this story pulled at your heart, don't just scroll away. Subscribe for more powerful stories, like the video, and tell me in the comments what you would have done.